And with the Philadelphia rapper known for his anti-gun violence messaging gunned down in broad daylight. Today we're learning new details about how it happened.
Police now believe it may have been a robbery that turned deadly, claiming the life of LGP QUA. Action News' Walter Perez is live at police headquarters with brand new details.
That's right, Christy and Sarah. His brand was the voice of the youth, but this weekend that voice was silenced. Yet another up-and-coming rapper from Philadelphia whose life was cut tragically short. He was known as an up-and-coming rapper from Philadelphia with a positive message for the younger generation. He was born Kadir Johnson, but to his fans, he was LGP QUA. Popular multimedia host Mina Say What Yona says she could not believe it when she heard about what happened.
It's heartbreaking, and there's just not enough words. And I think people are just tired. You know, we're tired of saying rest in peace. We're tired of it being the same story and the same narrative. And we're losing young people that are very talented.
Investigators say it was right around 4:45 yesterday afternoon when the 30-year-old rapper and a friend were approached by three men in Juniata Park. Authorities describe the scene as a robbery gone wrong, with one of the offenders shooting LGB QUA in the chest. A short time later, he died at the hospital. The victim is described as a young man whose time in prison for previous crimes inspired him to re-evaluate his life. After his release, he started rapping about staying out of trouble and becoming a force for good in the world. And Mina says the loss of a positive voice in hip-hop is devastating.
He had a different calling, and he knew that. And when you spoke to him, you felt that in his words and the way that he presented himself. And it's just a real shame.
Now, there is a $20,000 reward posted for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. Anyone with information is asked to contact Philadelphia Police. Reporting live from police headquarters, Walter Perez, Channel 6, Action News. Sarah?
Yeah, she said it. Such a shame. Walter, thank you.
Hey, yo, it's your boy, Mr. 1751. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, man. Unfortunately, man, I want to ask you guys, all you viewers, man, to pray for my city, man. Pray for my city. My city is in mourning at the moment, you know, over the tragic loss of up-and-coming Philadelphia rapper who goes by the name of LGP QUA. LGP QUA. Now, some of you might remember him from the DVD era, where this young guy was spit for 5 minutes straight. I'm talking about straight flames, man. Walking down any beat. You know, he got multiple videos of him flaming beats all over the internet, man, all over YouTube. You know. Now, the reason I say this one here is a little different from the average unfortunate death that happened in America. I mean, that happens in Philadelphia. This young guy here, he led with a positive message. You know, and that message was voice of the youth. Voice of the youth. Now, when I think of that, I think of myself, man, because I have content. As y'all know, I do these videos to enlighten the youth myself. Now, this young guy here, he's a little younger than me, you know, but he was on the right track. He was one of the good ones, man. He was one of the good ones. He was one of the gems in the community. You know, that's why I say this one here, this one hits different. We lost a good one, you know. Now, I always say, man, you know, although we love our jewelry, man, you know, we work hard for it. We deserve to be able to wear it, you know, without having somebody run up on us, man, and put a gun to us, or, you know. But I want you people out there to understand, man. Jewelry, a chain, a watch, rings, diamonds, I don't care what, what kind of ornaments you have on your body, how much it costs. It's never worth your life, man. It's never worth your family having to mourn your loss and they have to make funeral arrangements over a bad decision when you could have just gave the jury up, man. And just went and bought some more if you like jury that much. Now, although some of us like jury more than others, no jury, I don't care how expensive it is, man. Jury is not worth your life. So I want you people out there to know, man, I don't care how much you pay for your Rolex, or your diamond chain. If somebody approach you and they put a gun to you and they order you to hand it over, just hand it over, man. Just hand it over. Because it's a lot of times these situations end up in tragedy, man, because people just don't want to give it up. They work so hard for their stuff, man, they just don't want to give it up. I personally had a situation in the past, years and years ago, where a guy, I had a Rolex on, and a guy walked up on me when I came out the store. I guess he was waiting, he was standing outside the store before I went in, and I wasn't paying the guy any mind. I think he's just a regular guy, hanging out, probably selling drugs or whatever. But when I came out the store, I made it about a half a block, and I noticed he was walking behind me. And the guy asked me, do I have a light? As he started to jog up on me. And I told him, no, I don't smoke, whatever. But when he got close to me, he pulled a gun out. He told me to hand it over, hand the watch over. And what did he say? He said, hand the watch over and don't make a scene. So when I think about this young guy, not giving his jewelry up, it gives me flashbacks to the time, to that incident when this guy tried to rob me for my watch. And I noticed that he was kind of nervous because he kept looking over his shoulder to see if anybody was noticing that he was robbing me. And I took advantage of that. About the third time when he looked over his shoulder, I pushed off of him and I took off. And as I was running, I was waiting for him to shoot me because I knew that he was going to shoot me. But fortunately, this guy must have turned the other way and took off. But my situation, man, could have easily ended up like this young guy, LGP QUA. And these type of situations, occur often, man. A lot of times they're not talked about, but these situations, man, they still happen. Robbery was at an all-time high back in the 90s, man. The stick-up kids and all that. You don't hear a lot about, stick-up kids. These days, it's a lot of murder going on, a lot of wars and, blocks going to war with other blocks and stuff like that, man. But these type of situations never get old, man. I encourage people out there, man, that if you like to wear jewelry, man, sometimes I know, we got egos and we don't want to feel like a sucker. We don't want to feel like somebody's making us tuck our jewelry. But sometimes the right thing to do when you sense negativity or you sense a situation, you feel it. You feel that something is liable to happen. You might want to make the wise decision to tuck your jewelry, because it just might save your life, man. Now, I'm not saying this young guy made a bad decision, because I don't know how this unfolded. They say that he didn't want to get a jewelry up. I'm not sure if that's what happened. But what we do know is that the young guys, the assailants, who took this young brother's life, man, they're still at large. And let me tell you something, right? Just the simple fact that this young guy was, delivering a positive message to the youth and trying to reform the community through his music. This has left the community in mourning. Not only the streets, but the community as a whole. And the difference from these type of cases, man, from the cases where young guys are known for street activity and they tragically lose their life to a neighborhood war. The difference between that in this case here is that when you have a person like this who's dedicating their life to bringing about a positive change at the tender age that this guy was, law enforcement is not going to take it lightly, man. The people who did this to this young guy, not to mention 4:30 in the afternoon, broad daylight. You young guys who did this to this young guy, LGP QUA, man, y'all will be caught. Whether it takes a month, 2 months, 5 months, whatever, you will be caught, man. And the system will make an example out of you, man. It's just a matter of time, This is I hate to have to report on this type of things, man, especially when it's young guys like this, man, because when I look at this young guy, man, it's just I don't see. I understand that he's a young guy that comes from the community and surrounded by poverty and just negativity, But I don't see street activity written on this guy. Now I know he was raised in the city of Philadelphia, but I just don't see this young guy having any dealings with street guys on a level that can cause him his life. So for somebody to approach this guy, it had to be about his jewelry, if you ask me. Because the image that he project every time that I seen him, on the internet, of course, it was always positive. It was always positive. So that's why I say, man, this one here is different. And I didn't know the young brother personally, but I know people on his side of the city, who know this young guy. And they all say that this young guy, man, he was a good one. He was a good one. So I just want to ask all my viewers, man, to humbly keep this young guy, LGP QUA's family in your prayers, And until next time, I want to say, a long live LGP QUA. May this young brother rest in peace, man. May he rest easy. Because some people, man, they don't deserve this. They just don't deserve this, man. Others, they got what they get what they got coming to them. But guys like this, man, it's always sad, man, when it happens to people like this. Anyway, until next time, it's your boy Mr. 1751. Bring you another 1751 reaction. Until next video, y'all stay up.
Do when they get in your string. These rappers selling they soul for a deal just to die with some clout labels live off their strings. Picked up a mic and I start losing brothers, but long as I'm living, they living through me. I know how I feel to be lonely and then you start crying, you feeling like nobody with you. Know how I feel to be standing and waiting, they about to play ball, but don't nobody pick you. Know how I feel to wear hand-me-down clothes, everybody make jokes cause the sizes don't fit. Child support money don't spend on the child, she gon' call up from work and start planning her trip. I'm the new kid on the block, you should get to know me, youngin' about his business. Everybody want the juice, friends killing friends, look at Q and Bishop. My youngin' always trying to kill, AO with the stock, trying to handle business. I told that nigga switch your mind, invest into